Cavemen. Final 2 games of the regular season. Eagles here at home tonight, and then Friday, the finale in Carlsbad. The Carlsbad Cavemen currently ranked 3rd in the state in the Max Preps poll. The Hobbs Eagles moved up to number 18. So that will be a big factor in terms of the playoffs as well. 16 teams make the playoffs for the 5A. And, of course, you got to be in the top 16 to go on. So Hobbs definitely has to move a few slots. And by getting a pickoff win, either 1 or 2 games in this week of We are back live here at Sportsman's Park. Time for Hobbs Eagle Baseball. Live on Cool 95.7's Facebook page, HobbsAmerica.com, and YouTube. As the Hobbs Eagles take on the Carlsbad Cavemen, the final two games of the regular season. Game here tonight at home and then on the road on Friday at Carlsbad. Very pivotal game for the Hobbs Eagles, too, currently sitting second in the district at 2-2. And the Carlsbad Cavemen come in at 4-0. So 2 wins here tonight. Would really like to mix things up a little bit here for the regular season championship. And, of course, next week we'll know who the playoff teams will be because 16 will make it in the 5A playoffs. And, of course, the Hobbs Eagles currently under 500 right now in terms of record after that 8th win against Clovis on Friday, 3-2 here at Sportsman's Park. But still, a couple of wins against Carlsbad, currently ranked 3rd in the Max Preps Bowl, will definitely help out their resume. We're going to take a quick break as the Hobbs Eagles and Carlsbad Cavemen are on the field ready for the national anthem. It is senior night, only 2 seniors on this squad. But we will be back in 90 seconds here on the Hobbs Eagle Network.
Christopher Jackson Gaston, number 4, pitcher and third baseman. Tonight, Christopher is escorted by his father, Chris Gaston, stepmother, Becca Gaston, mother, Sheila Taylor, stepfather, Peyton Taylor, and his brothers, Jaden Taylor and Easton Taylor. These young gentlemen have put a special clip together for their families.
What's up? I'm Jackson Gaston, and I want to say I'm thankful for my parents, my family, my friends, my coaches, my teammates for always pushing me to be better. What I plan on doing after high school is going to college and studying sports and medicine. Some advice I'd like to give the younger guys is play baseball and have fun. At the end of the day, it's a kid's game. It's not meant to be taken too serious. Just have fun when you play and don't stress about the little things or the mistakes that you've made. And just go out there, ball out, and have a good time because at the end of the day, it's still a kid's game. And I'd like to also thank my mom and my dad for helping me through what I've been through in the past year and helping me become a better man, a better player, a better person. And I just want to let y'all know I love y'all and thank y'all for that. And this is number 4 signing out.
second senior for tonight is Christian Montes, number 6, second baseman. Tonight, Christian is escorted by father Carlos Montes, mother Maricela Montes, and brothers Isaiah and Jacob Montes.
Hi, my name is Christian Montes. I'm a senior at Hobbs High School. First off, I just want to thank all my family members for supporting me and being there for my baseball career. Second, I just want to thank my mom for everything she's done for me and all the sacrifices that she makes for me and teaching me how to be a good young man that I am today. And I just want to thank my dad for being the good role model that he is and setting an example in our family for us 3 boys and teaching me the game of baseball and just always being there for me when I needed him. I love you, Mom and Dad. And I also want to thank my coaches for teaching me the game of baseball and coaching me and being coached by them. I thank you all for that. And for the younger guys that house baseball, I just want to tell y'all to enjoy the experience and have fun. Don't let the game dictate who you are as a person or your happiness for the game. Just have fun, play the game, and play hard. Thank y'all.
We are here at Sportsman's Park. It is senior night. Only 2 seniors on the squad this year for the Hobbs Eagles. Jackson Gaston, of course, playing third base, also does some pitching and was the scoring winning run against Clovis on Friday, coming across the plate for that 3-2 victory in that win for the Hobbs Eagles. Also, Christian Montes, of course, second baseman for the Eagles as well. He's been on the team for 4 years, too. Very good baseball combo there. So only 2 seniors on the squad, as we mentioned. We were talking about earlier this season, Clovis graduated 11 last year. They went to the playoffs 1 round just like the Eagles did. And next year, Hobbs will be bringing 10 JV players, or juniors, I should say, to the squad, which are on this year's team. But I'm not sure if all 10 will be there next year, but that's still a double-digit number, and that would come to happen. But still, a lot of people at the junior level here for the Eagles, and definitely getting some experience with this season and get real close to the playoffs too. Hopefully this team will punch their ticket like they did last year, going on the road to Las Cruces to take on Oregon Mountain. Now, of course, the Eagles an exciting win on Friday. They were down 2-1 in the 7th inning. Eagles getting the last at bat, of course, bottom of the 7th. Getting on base, Christian Montes with the walk, one of the players that are being recognized right now. Jackson Gaston, another guy we just talked about, got a single to get on base. Then it was Tristan Rodriguez who got a sac fly for an RBI, scoring Christian Montes, making it a tied-up ball game at that point at 2-2. And then Cole Kester stepped up with an RBI double as he did score Gaston to get the win 3-2. The Eagles winning the bottom of the 7th, the last bit of the ball game there for that very critical victory. With that loss, if that would have happened on Friday, that probably would have knocked them out of the playoffs because that would only been 1 win on the in terms of the district. But now they are 2-2 and currently in that 2nd spot. The other 2 teams, Clovis and Roswell, sitting at 1-3. Of course, the Carlsbad Cavemen, as usual, one of the top teams in the state, currently hit at number 3 on the Max Preps poll. They were a team that last season lost in the quarterfinals to Rio Rancho. Of course, the Rams were ranked 2nd in state at that point, Carlsbad at number 5. So that was not an upset, but I'm sure fans not too happy about that. Usually want to get themselves at least to the semis or the championship game where they're very accustomed to. So that's the situation at this point in time. Currently 19-5, the Carlsbad Cavemen, and your Hobbs Eagles at 8-16. Last year, pretty much a dominant fashion, 3 wins for Carlsbad. Not much competition in terms of that 3-game set, so Eagles definitely want to turn that around a little bit. In terms of the team this year, the Carlsbad Cavemen have 7 seniors, Hobbs with just 2, as we mentioned. There are 7 juniors on the Cavemen, 10 for the Eagles. They have 3 more in that category. Sophomores, 3 for Carlsbad, 2 for the Eagles, 1 freshman for the Cavemen, none for the Hobbs Eagles. Take a look at the starting lineups in this ball game. Hobbs, of course, playing the defense as the home team. And on the mound in this one, he's been getting a lot of pitching in the last couple of weeks. Of course, we're talking about Chase Brister, 4-2 record, a 2.45 ERA. This is his 14th appearance on the season on the mound for the Eagles. Cole Kesterwood first, Christian Montez is senior second, and Gaston the other senior at third. Fuentes is the shortstop. Hernandez behind the plate at catcher. And from left to right in the outfield, Phillips, Camacho, and Parrish. Eagles come in with a .328 batting average for Coach Marco Boyle. And for the Carlsbad Cavemen, 19-5, 4-0 in district, Coach McGahey, Eloy Lopez, Garrett Fuentes, Aiden Quintella, and Gus Risher will be 1 through 4 at the plate. Jonas Molinar will be the pitcher for the Carlsbad Cavemen in this one. A couple of weeks ago, the Cavemen doubled up on Clovis 9-4 on the road, and then came back and won 10-0 at home in a Mercy Rule game. They got a solo home run from Garrett Fuentes after leading 4-0 in the first inning. He also added a double, so Fuentes with 2 RBIs along top his homer and double. And senior pitcher Aiden Quintella had a no-hitter in that game on the mound. Carlsbad had 11 hits in that win over Clovis at home. First pitch is inside. It'll be hit hard on the ground. A dribbler over to our shortstop, and that will be an easy one for Fuentes to nail over to Kestner for out number 1. That was Eloy Lopez, the shortstop, on the grounder to short. So we're underway here in the first inning. Hobbs and Carlsbad. First out of the ball game. Quick defense for the Eagles. Heavy winds here in this one. Some dirt in the horizon, too. Hopefully it'll stay away from us. Garrett Fuentes, the center fielder now, second in the order. Little curved situation there going towards the chest of Fuentes as he backs away from it for the ball. He is second in the order for the Cavemen. Quintella and Risher third and fourth in the order. Here's the windup of the throw from Brister. Sinker hits just above the plate for the ball. Low pitch on that one. Count goes to 2-0 to Fuentes. Of course, there is a Fuentes for the Eagles as well at shortstop, so we'll have to keep those separated a little bit. Fastball hits the outside corner, a little outside for the ump's liking for the ball. Count up now 3-0 to Fuentes. Again, last year was a 3-0 count in terms of win-loss for Carlsbad in the series. Curveball inside, that will be barely clipping the corner as Fuentes started to jog up that first base line. He was brought back by the umpire. 3 balls and a strike. Brister going to come back with a curve inside, but it'll be way low for ball 4, and that'll be the first walk and first base runner for the Cavemen. Carlsbad moved up a spot in the Max Preps Bowl from last week. They were sitting at 4th, now in the 3rd slot, and pushed Cleveland down a few spots. Again, Carlsbad losing in the quarterfinals last year to Rio Rancho, who got knocked off in the semifinals. Third in the order now, Aiden Quintella, second baseman in this ball game. Also does some pitching for the Cavemen. Brister back up on the rubber, ready to go here with the runner at first. Turns and fires the fastball, low and outside. Good save from behind the plate for Hernandez for the Eagles. Able to keep that from going wild. Carlsbad had some issues in terms of away games this year, just 2-3 on the road, but pretty dominant at home, 17-2. Throw to first, not in time, as Fuentes able to get back, although he did have to dive back to the first bag. A lot of common opponents with these two teams. We'll talk about that in here in just a second. Brister comes back with a fastball sinker low. The throw to first. And boy, barely getting back with that left leg, stomping on the bag just in time was Fuentes. He was behind the bag, and the throw in front to Kester coming from behind the plate from Hernandez. So they're really going to make sure that Fuentes earns that second base if he ever gets there. 1-0 count. Brister fastball right down the pike for the strike as Quintella held on it. Still scoreless here, top of the first inning, just one game, no doubleheaders in district this year. Another throw to first. Just keeping Fuentes on his toes there, the base runner for the Cavemen. Again, one game on Friday night, of course, 5 o'clock first pitch, pregame at 4:45 or so there in Carlsbad to finish up the regular season. And playoffs the following week. Fastball going to get whacked hard towards the Hobbs Eagle dugout side left. We're going to roll down the fence in foul territory. Good contact there by Quintella. I'd like to straighten that one out just a bit. Count goes to 1-1 now. Risher, the cleanup man, next in the order for Carlsbad. Watching live here on HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, and the Cool 95.7 Facebook page. Exclusive coverage, free of course. Brister fastball. This one's heading out towards left field. Taking a wicked curve, though, with the wind, and luckily goes into foul territory. Good chase out there in left field by Phillips, but boy, if that wind wouldn't have taken it left, that could have gone over the fence. Good distance there for Quintella. Again, wind's going to definitely be a factor in this game. Could maybe aid some balls over the fence. Staying alive, though. Good contact on the last two pitches for Quintella. The 1-2 count. One down here in the top of the first. The 0-0 ball game. Exciting win, of course, on Friday as the Eagles got that 3-2 victory in the bottom of the seventh, thanks to Cole Kestner's RBI double scoring Gaston. Brister taking a little bit of time to throw. Fastball outside and high for the ball. Eagles had both their short and second baseman, Fuentes and Montez, quickly heading to second in case Hernandez had tried to throw out the runner there. Nowhere close to that second base. He stayed near his first bag. Brister goes with the fastball off the handle, though, as Fuentes hits it right, or correction, Quintella right to the Hobbs dugout. Looks like Coach Schaefer's a guy that hanging over the wall there, and bare hands that one. Waves to the crowd after it. Big grin on his face there. As Quintella just sticking around there at home, continues to make some contact here on Brister's pitchers. Chase comes back with a fastball. There, his steal is on. They're going to give the walk regardless, though. So 2 walks in a row. Fuentes and Quintella get runners at first and second. Pitch looked like pretty good on that one, but just a little bit outside, I guess. One down. Gus Risher comes up, the cleanup man for the Cavemen, number 8. Tanner Collins, the DH, due in next for the blue squad. They're wearing their gray uniforms, blue helmets in this one. Hobbs in the black tops, gold lettering, and semi-goldish pants. Showing bunt situation here. Fastball outside, barely misses the strike zone. Looks like Coach McGahey just wants to load up the bases here for his offense. Windy Sportsman's Park on this Tuesday. Showing bunt again, a high fastball. Pulling out of it is Risher, and gets 2 balls now on the count. Of course, 16 teams picked for the playoffs next week. Hobbs would like to be in that number here. Would like to pick off Carlsbad at least once. The sinker barely above the plate for the ball. So getting well ahead of the count now is Risher, 3-0. Clovis and Roswell both with the 1-3 records. Curveball near the helmet, and that's going to be another walk. So already the bases are loaded with just 1 down. Time called as Hernandez heads out to the mound, and so does Coach Bowman, the pitching coach for the Eagles. Going to try to settle down Brister just a bit. We'll take a quick break, and here comes the infield as well. Meeting of the minds on the mound. We'll take a 60-second break. 0-0, bases loaded for the Cavemen with 1 down. Back in 1 minute. Chase Brister remains on the mound for the Eagles, the starting pitcher. Bases are loaded here, though, for Carlsbad after they get 3 walks. Fastball down the middle for the strike. So Coach Bowman with a little pep talk there, getting Brister back in motion. Tanner Collins, the DH, at the plate. First time up there. He is 5th in the order. Curveball down the middle again, another strike as Collins waited on it. Definitely want to be careful. This wind could aid some balls out in the outfield here. Fastball at the end of the bat's going to go out towards the JV field on the right foul territory. Out of play. Good contact for Collins. Is trying to straighten that one out of just a bit. Trying to get these runners advanced. A lot of trash blowing around on the warning track in right field. That's definitely going to be an issue as well. A lot of paper sacks and napkins, everything else. Fastball outside. Good save for Hernandez. Getting down low on that one. Got the knees underneath the baseball to make sure it didn't squirt through. That would have scored a run, too, with the bases loaded. It's Fuentes at third, Quintella second, and Risher at first, all due to walks. 1 ball and 1 strike. Brister with this sinker. Dropped in front of the plate on purpose, though, for Hernandez. Checking the runners to see what they were going to try to do. Big pitch here from Brister. 2-2 count is what they have now. Curveball goes low and outside. And the DH Collins thought that was the walk there as he has to look back to the umpire, started walking up the first baseline. They're going to go with the full count here. Bases are loaded for Carlsbad. Brister takes a deep breath, turns and fires a fastball. Got the strike on it. And Collins just kind of puts his head down and walks towards the dugout. He was expecting a walk previously. That would have been an RBI, too, if it would have scored a run, but a K instead. As the bases remain loaded for Carlsbad with 2 down here on the top of the first. Wade Cozart now, the third baseman, 6th in the order for the Cavemen. Brister goes inside curve near the knees and backing up Cozart just a bit for the ball. Hobbs led Eagles on the road tonight at Clovis for a district matchup. Fastball at the end of the bat, going to go to the back wall, though, on the right side. Hits the backstop near the Carlsbad dugout. Carlsbad has been making some contact. Cozart a lefty for the blue and gray. Again, bases are loaded. Big leadoffs with 2 down. Curveball outside. Comes off the glove of Hernandez as he lets it roll up that third baseline just a bit. Waiting to see what Fuentes planned to do there at third. Stayed right where he was at on that bag. 1 ball and 1 strike coming to Cozart. Fastball outside for the ball. So Brister kind of mixing it up just a little bit here. Keeping Cozart guessing. Doesn't want to go down as a K on this one with the bases loaded. His teammate just went down on that. Curveball hits that outside for the strike. Count evens up at 2-2. So major pitch coming now from Brister on this next one. Try to dig himself out of a big hole here. 3 runners wanting to come home. Curveball inside, going to get whacked out to left center on the ground. Going to take a big roll too. Good backhand scoop though for Camacho coming from center. And that's going to score 2 runs on an RBI, 2 RBI double. As coming across was Fuentes and Quintella. So 2-0 to score early here in the first inning. And that's with 2 down. Runners at second and third. And brings on Connor Roberson, the catcher. He is 7th in the order for the Cavemen. Brister coming back with a fastball outside and high for ball 1. In Carlsbad at 4-0 in district. Hobbs at 2-2. Clovis and Roswell playing each other tonight at 1-3. And those are some big games as well. Fastball off the handle comes to the middle of the backstop for the foul. Carlsbad able to outscore Clovis 19-4 in their 2 games. Hobbs was 5-8. Clovis got 3 more runs than the Eagles. The Roswell matchup was Carlsbad 13, Coyotes 1 in the combined games, and Hobbs 15-12. Fastball low and outside for the ball. Count to 2-1 now. So Hobbs has been able to get some good scoring runs against Roswell, especially those 15 combined. Of course, Carlsbad combined for 32 runs against Clovis and Roswell. Curveball inside, a knuckler going to roll to second. Montez should have an easy time. Sidewides it over to Kessner. Off the 4-3 for out number 3. So Carlsbad does leave 2 on base there, but they do score 2 runs off a 2 RBI double by Cozart, leave 2 on. We go to the bottom of the first, time for the Eagles bats to come alive. They trail 2-0. Come back with this live on the Hobbs Eagle Network. Back live to Sportsman's Park, Hobbs Eagle Baseball with you. A windy one here for the next to last game of the regular season. On the mound for the Carlsbad Cavemen, Jonas Molinar. Molinar shut out the Roswell Coyotes with a 6-0 win about 2 weeks ago. So he only had 77 pitches in that victory as well with that shutout. Did give up some hits in that one, 5 hits in the game as Roswell able to convert. They got 7 Ks against him though and were walked 0 times. So Molinar doing a pretty good job in that victory. Carlsbad on the other hand had 8 hits, 3 strikeouts and 4 walks in that one. Big problem for Roswell in that 6-0 loss was their 3 errors in the game. Again, good pitching from Molinar, who's on the mound now. Juan Camacho at the plate for the Eagles, batting .303. Takes the first pitch, little check swing on it, goes low for the ball. He's got 27 hits on the season. Currently second on the squad there. 16 RBIs, 6 doubles, and a home run to his name. Fastball low and outside. Good check again for Camacho for ball 2. Camacho with a .350 on-base percentage this season. Here's the windup and the throw coming. Swing and a miss on the fastball for Molinar, and the strike. Count goes to 2-1. Christian Montez, Hernandez, and Gaston, 2 through 4 in the order. For Carlsbad is Venegas first, Quintela second, Cozart third. The short is Lopez. Roberson behind the plate. Fastball, swing and a miss for Camacho. In the outfield, Risher left, Fuentes in the center, and Herrera at right. 2 balls and 2 strikes for Camacho, the leadoff man for the Eagles. Down 2-0. Fastball high, good eye for Camacho. Flinched just a bit there, but kept solid. Crosses himself as he came out of the box on that one. Wants to stay alive here with the full count. Here comes a pitch from Molinar. Fastball, sinks low, and that'll be a walk. So Carlsbad had 3 walks in the first, top of the first. Now Hobbs getting there first to get a base runner. And a good eye there for Camacho through those pitches. Camacho has 9 walks now after that one. And now it's time for Christian Montez, one of the 2 seniors on the team. Montez batting .284, has 21 hits, 15 RBIs, 3 doubles, and 3 triples. Fastball clips the outside corner for the strike. Montez second in the order. Hobbs came in at .328 on the season. They were .308 against Clovis on Friday with that win, 3-2. Throw to first, having to dive head first to the bag was Camacho. As Molinar wanted to try to pick him off there at first. Nice throw over to Venegas at the first bag. Another throw to first. Boy, giving Camacho a workout over there. Camacho looks like he might have pulled something on his right leg as he kind of stretches out as he heads back to the bag. Little delay now for Molinar at the mound. Throws a fastball, swing and a miss on the strike. Count to 0-2 now to Christian. Nice little ceremony to start the game for the 2 seniors, of course, him and Gaston. Loaded up with 10 juniors on this team, though. Curveball, wicked one outside. And that'll be strike 3. And jumping up from behind the plate also was Roberson, the catcher. He wanted to throw Camacho out after that strikeout. So 1 down for the Eagles. Third in the order now, Jaden Hernandez, the catcher. He's batting .416, the best number on the team so far in the batting average. 32 hits on the season, 26 RBIs, some big numbers there. 6 doubles and 3 home runs, 3 out of the 11 for the Eagles in terms of hitting it over the fence. Curveball inside near the handle. Swing and a miss for Hernandez. Jackson Gaston wouldn't get a chance. The senior coming up next, the cleanup man. Throw to first. About the 4th time that's been done, and Camacho's got to be definitely on his toes there at the first bag. 1 out here in the bottom of the 1st. Oh, the steal is on. He's going to get halfway through, and he's going to dive to second. Oh, the throw in time, and the tag. Waiting for that ball was Quintella from Venegas on the throw, and he had taken off past the halfway mark. Thought he was going to get there in time, but fortunately pick off at second for out number 2. So Jaden Hernandez is going to try to get on himself here. Nobody on the bases for the Eagles, trailing 2-0. The windup in the throw for Quintella. Curveball. That's going to be a dribbler up the third base line. Chasing it is Molnar. He fires the first, but a wild throw. Throwing error, and that's going to send the Eagles to second as Hernandez given a little gift there from Quintella, who came off the, or Molnar, I should say, came off the mound, had to chase to the third baseline to pick up that ball. Udaharo's going to head out to first base, the pinch runner for the Eagles. So 2 down for Hobbs. Runner at second, off the throwing error from the pitcher off the mound there, Molnar. And Jackson Gaston now, third baseman, of course. Senior, .329 batting average, 23 hits, 13 RBIs, 4 doubles, 3 triples, and 2 homers. So he's currently tied for second on the team with homers with Montez and Kestner. Takes the first pitch, fastball, a little low for ball 1. Big lead off at second for Udahara. Fastball comes off the bottom part of the bat and heads out right foul over to the JV field. Just one game here tonight at Sportsman's Park. One on Friday on the road in Carlsbad to wrap up the regular season. 1-1 count with 2 down here, bottom of the 1st. Still 2-0 Carlsbad. Molnar keeps looking back at second. Fastball down the pike, swing and a miss for Gaston. Count drops to 1-2 now. Definitely got to protect the plate on this next one. Pretty decent wind here, too. About 20, 25 miles per hour. Pretty much sustained, too, at Sportsman's Park. The 1-2 pitch, fastball. Ooh, close. Kind of slid off to the right just a bit. Also sliding to the right was Roberson. Definitely wants to see that runner coming off that second bag in the form of Hernandez. Cole Kessler hopefully getting a shot up here in the bottom of the 1st. He's warming up right now. The 2-2 coming. Curveball. Little check swing out the short. A backhand by Lopez as a turn and fire loose underneath the glove and a scoop. Good save there, but it's not in time for Venegas. Down as a single. That was a deep shot through short. But a nice coverage there by Lopez to keep it in play. First hit of the game for the Eagles for Gaston. Runners now at first and third on the corners. And Cole Kester definitely wants to be the man to get somebody around. Kester does have 24 RBIs this season, second place on the team, 2 behind Hernandez. He's batting .288 with 21 hits, 8 doubles, 1 triple, and 2 homers. Of course, Kestner hit the game-winning RBI double on Friday against Clovis. Fastball, this would be a bouncer over second. Shortstop covering from behind. Lopez flicks it to his second baseman, Quintella, for the stop at second. And that, unfortunately, will end it for the Eagles here in the bottom of the 1st. Eagles do manage the hit from Gaston. Another base runners due to walk and an error. They leave 1 on base. No runs come across, though. 2-0 Carlsbad as we head to the top of the 2nd. You're listening to Hobbs Eagle Baseball on the Hobbs Eagle Network back in 60. We head to the top of the second as Carlsbad leads 2-0. Still on the mound for the Eagles, Chase Brister. At the plate for the Cavemen, Jonas Molinar, the pitcher for the Cavemen. 8th in the order for Carlsbad. Takes a sinker on the first pitch, swing over the top of it for Molinar for the strike. In 8th in the order for the Cavemen, Richie Herrera is the 9th man, the right fielder. The 0-1 coming now, curveball, little golf swing, a blooper right back to Brister. He's in front of the mound and tosses over to Kestner off a 1-3 for out number 1. Bottom of the order now, Richie Herrera, the right fielder, to round out the order for Carlsbad in their first rotation. They lead 2-0. Did get a 2 RBI double by Wade Cozart in the first. 3 walks also converted. Fuentes, Quintela both scored. Fastball sinker low for ball 1. So 1 hit so far for the Cavemen. 3 walks and been K'd once. Time called as Hernandez heads out to the mound to talk to Brister. Again, he comes in with a 4-2 record, 2.45 ERA. His 14th appearance on the season on the mound for the Eagles. Fastball clicks the outside corner for the strike. Carlsbad again, 2-3 record on the road this season. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Curveball up near the chin of Herrera for the ball. Count goes to 2-1. The Eagles have had some common opponents we'll get to here in just a minute. Fastball off the handle of the right backstop for the foul. Both teams have played Cleveland several times this season. Carlsbad is 1-2 against them. Their best win, 12-2. Lost 2-1, 7-4. Eagles also beat Cleveland once, 11-7, but lost 6-2, 7-2 in the other 2 games. So both the same records against Cleveland. Curveball inside off that, going to foul territory over there near the Hobbs Eagle dugout left. So Herrera does get some contact on it. Actually made a mistake on that Max Preps poll. They just changed that since last week. Cleveland now at 3, Carlsbad at 4. Fastball, and that'll be a strike on Herrera. Came up over the top there and got kind of crunched up on the plate, and he'll sit down. Second K of the game for Brister. And that'll be the top of the order now for Carlsbad. The second out, though. That'll be Eli Lopez, the shortstop who grounded short to the Fuentes of the Hobbs Eagles. Quick reload here for Brister. Fastball high. Ooh, barely hits that top of the strike zone. Carlsbad trying to get themselves a runner. They had bases loaded in the first inning, but left a couple on. Did score 2. Wide open the throw from Brister. Curveball whacked out towards left, but it's going to quickly curve and hit the sidewall. They got a couple of good whacks out towards left, but the wind, I think, is helping out the Eagles just a bit, keeping them out of play. 0-2 count now to Lopez, top of the order. Brister with the fastball, kept on the ground off the bat to Gaston. Turns and fires a high shot. Boy, getting up high in the air is Kester. Came down hard to get the stomp on the bag there at first to beat the runner barely. And that'll be out number 3 as Lopez ground to third. 3 up, 3 down, 2 ground outs and a strikeout. And we go to the bottom of the second. Still Carlsbad 2, your Hobbs Eagles nothing. We'll take a quick 60-second break, come back with more Hobbs Eagle baseball. Stay with us. Bottom of the second inning, your Hobbs Eagles at the plate. The home team here at Sportsman's Park down 2-0. So far, the Eagles have had a single for Gaston.
Stepping to the plate for the
Also had one walk, got on due to an error as well. Carlsbad, on the other hand, has had themselves one hit. They've been walked 3 times, struck out twice. Jason Fuentes, the shortstop, up now for the Eagles. Again, Fuentes on both teams starters for the squads in this game. Fuentes batting .429. One of the best on the squad right now there. 30 hits for him. 14 RBIs, 5 doubles, 3 triples. Fuentes a .512 on base percentage. That's the best on the team. Fastball low, barely clips the bottom of the strike zone for the strike. Holding on it was Fuentes. He's 6th in the order for the Eagles. Montez, Parrish, and Phillips to round it out for the first time in this game. Molinar comes back with a sinker, clips the bottom of the strike zone for the 0-2 count now. Reload now for Molinar, the windup and the throw. Curveball inside, it'll be a double bouncer over to second to Quintella. Sidearms it to first, connects with Venegas off the 4-3 for out number 2. Out number 1. Tristan Montez now the DH, 7th in the order. Montez batting .294. He's got himself 15 hits on the season, 20 RBIs, 3 doubles and a triple. Also 2 home runs. Sinker way outside and a little late swing there for Montez. Like to have that one back. One of the lefties for the Eagles. One down here in the bottom of the second. 2-0 Carlsbad lead. Curveball, swing and a miss for the strike. Count goes to 0-2 now for Montez. Luke Parrish and Carson Phillips, 8th and 9th in the order for Hobbs. Molinar, fastball, barely misses the outside corner for the ball. Taking a deep breath now, Molinar. Turns and fires a curve, low and outside for ball 2, so back-to-back balls now thrown to Montez. Good eye for him. Quick reload here. A sinker outside the plate, and that'll be strike 3 for Montez. So 2 Ks so far now for the pitching of Molinar. That'll be out number 2 for the Eagles. Trying to get some offense generated here with just 1 hit so far. Luke Parrish, the right fielder, number 8, batting .345. He's got 20 hits, 14 RBIs, 5 doubles, and a triple, and 1 HR. Fastball off the end of the bat, got to go towards second. Quintella there again. Another sidewinder over to first to connect with Venegas for the 2nd time in this series. And that's out number 3 for the Eagles. 2 grounders and a K. 3 up, 3 down. We go to the top of the 3rd. Still 2-0. Carlsbad holding on to that lead from the 1st inning. Come back with us some more Hobbs Eagle Baseball on Cool 95.7's Facebook page, HobbsAmerica.com, and YouTube. Top of the 3rd inning here at Sportsman's Park here in Hobbs. 2-0 Carlsbad. The visitors will be at the plate here momentarily. We're talking about some of the common opponents so far this season. Both teams 1-2 against Cleveland, who's ranked 3rd in the state. Piedra Vista, Carlsbad lost to them 6-5. Hobbs split with Piedra Vista 10-0 on the win and 16-10 on the loss. Piedra Vista ranked 9th. Los Lunas, Carlsbad 1-2 against them. The Hobbs Eagles 0-2. Farmington, Carlsbad beat them bad 19-5. That was an away game for them. Hobbs lost 10-8. Las Cruces, Carlsbad shut them out 7-0. Hobbs lost twice, 10-6 and 14-5 to the 13th ranked Dogs. Centennial. Carlsbad barely winning 8-7. Hobbs lost by 10 in that one, 11-1 in a mercy rule game. They're ranked 14th. So some of those teams near the bottom of the rankings, but looking for playoff spots. Curveball, swing and a miss for the Cavemen. At the plate is Garrett Fuentes here in the top of the third. He walked back in the first inning for the first base runner and first score of the game. Sinker on the second pitch. Over the top of that as well for Fuentes. Brister showing some junk on that one. 0-2 count now to Fuentes, who's second in the order. The windup in the throw from Brister. Another sinker down outside low for ball one. Quintella and Risher, third and fourth in the order for the Cavemen. Brister comes back. Fastball bounces off the plate. Going to take a roll towards the Hobbs Eagle dugout. No runners to worry about, though, as chasing it down is Hernandez. We'll be with you at 4:45 on Friday as well for the final game of the regular season in Carlsbad. Each team playing the others twice total for 6 games. Curveball off the handle, just going to barely drop foul outside the third baseline. Chasing it down regardless, Gaston for the Eagles. If Carlsbad wins at least one of these games, they will be the regular season champs. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Curveball inside, another whack, this time harder. Bounces off the Hobbs Eagle dugout, the wall in front. Take a roll down that foul territory line, or the side wall. 2-2 count now to Fuentes. Birds are going to come back quickly. Fastball, check swing. They're going to try to look down to first base ump, and they're going to say, nope, he didn't come around enough. Actually, Hernandez was the first one to point towards the ump down there at first, but plate umpire also pointed down to get his help on that one. Full count now to Fuentes. Brister goes fastball, and this barely getting contact is Fuentes. Comes off the handle and sails the left backstop. Pretty heavy sustained winds here at Sportsman's Park. We had a big dust cloud. Looks like it was going to come over here, but that seems to be stayed away just a bit, hopefully, to after this game is over. Full count pitch now from Brister. Curveball off the handle again. Bounces foul out near Coach McGahey in the third base coach's box. A lot of balls getting over that side of the field right now. Carlsbad trying to straighten out their swings just a bit. They lead 2-0 here in the top of the third. Fastball going towards short, a hard one to Fuentes. He turns and fires. Good stretch by Kester behind the first bag. Able to pull that one down off a 6-3 for the out. Good stretch again for Kester on that one. So ground out for Fuentes, who hit it to Fuentes for the Eagles. Out number one for the Cavemen. That brings up Aiden Quintella. He walked back in the first inning and scored the second run of the game. The only 2 runs for the Cavemen. Umpire goes and gets some more baseballs. Again, 16 teams make it to the playoffs next week. It'll be a best-of-3 series. Eagles, of course, went and played Oregon Mountain last year in Las Cruces. Curveball inside, just barely misses the corner. Carlsbad won their first round and then lost in the quarterfinals. Clovis lost their first round playoff. Curveball inside, hard shot towards left field. It's going to be near the pole, but then veers out of play. Well, that wind is definitely helping the Eagles. That's the second time that could have been a homer there, as Phillips did just kind of go with it to make sure that didn't stay in play, but that had enough distance on it, just got a wicked curve on it. 1 ball and 1 strike. Brister comes back with the curve inside and almost gets the outside elbow of Quintella as he washing machines his way out of the direction of the ball there. 2 balls and a strike out of Quintella, third in the order for the Cavemen, who lead 2-0. Fastball inside. It's going to go high in the air. Some air underneath this one, shifting towards second base. One-hand shot in the glove there for Fuentes, the shortstop, for the flyout. So 2 down. Fuentes getting a little work there left side of the infield here in the top of the third. Been a part of 2 plays defensively now, 2 down for the Cavemen. The cleanup man, Gus Risher now, the left fielder, the walk back in the first. Dealing with 2 outs. Brister curveball inside for the ball. Lots of wind during this spring season. Wreaking some havoc. Of course, Friday we had a 1-hour lightning delay. Fastball outside and low for ball 2. Of course, at the same time, Lovington was hammered by hail. Luckily, that didn't hit here in Hobbs that night, but a little bit of a delay just to make sure that stuff passed through. The 2-0 pitch from Brister, sinker low and outside for ball 3. Getting well ahead of the count now is Risher. Risher looking over to Coach McGahey there at third base in the box, or outside the box, I should say. Definitely going to be a fastball coming here. Go curving low and inside, though, for ball 4. That's the 4th walk issued to Carlsbad in this one, giving a base runner with 2 outs. So Risher heads to first. Tanner Collins now, the DH, comes in. He struck out. 1 of 2 Ks in the game so far. Wade Cozart warming up behind him, though, who had the 2 RBI double. Scoring a couple of runs there in the first. Brister goes with a fastball, clips the bottom of the strike zone for the strike, 0-1 count. Force out at second for the Eagle defense. So outfielder's just got to be ready to make judgments on anything that comes up in the air, where that ball's going to come down at. 0-1 pitch, curveball, right down the pike for the strike. During the headlights there for Collins, just waited on that one and paid the price. He's going to go down an 0-2 count here. Got to protect the plate on this next pitch. Brister quickly looks at first, checks the runner, turns and fires. Fastball, the steal is on. Kind of a curvy throw out to center, though. Gets away from Montez. Didn't have much of a chance with that one, as the air just took that way over his head and curved wickedly. Stolen base converted by Risher to second. But still 2 outs for the Cavemen. Back in the box goes Collins, facing a 1-2 count. Definitely that throw was helped by the wind for Carlsbad. Curveball inside will be a dribbler up the third baseline. Scooped by Gaston. Jumps and fires, but a wild throw. Kind of what happened with Carlsbad earlier. The throwing error is going to score a run, unfortunately, and advance the runner to second. So that gets Collins on all the way to second. Both teams with an error now in the infield. Time is called. And one of the Carlsbad coaches, I guess, getting some of the equipment away from the runner there. Two outs for the Cavemen. And that's going to bring up Wade Cozart. He had the 2 RBI double for the only 2 runs of the game in the first inning. He is a lefty. Looking back at second. Brister, curveball inside. It'll take a bouncer over to Fuentes. It's short. Fires to first. Good stretch again for Kestner. And that'll be out number 3. Boy, a lot of work for Fuentes here in this early part of the game. As Carlsbad managing to get on base with a walk. Got on due to an error as well, but nobody advances home. No hits. Or actually, one came in, I should say. 3-0 to score. As we will go to the bottom of the third. Your Eagles trail 3-0 to the Cavemen. Back at 60 on the Hobbs Eagle Network. Hobbs Eagles trail 3-0 here in the bottom of the third, getting about halfway through this one here at Sportsman's Park. That run scored after that throwing error. That's what came across. That was Gus Risher. So 3-0 to score as the Hobbs Eagles now trying to get themselves back in this one. At the plate for your Eagles, Carson Phillips getting his first chance at the plate, so we're just rounding out the rotation the first time here. Phillips batting .278, has 10 hits, 3 RBIs. Showing bunt, too, and this is going foul outside the third baseline, scooped up by Robertson, the catcher. So Phillips again, 3 RBIs, 1 double, 1 triple. On base percentage of .395 this season. Hobbs has 1 hit, a single by Gaston. Been on once due to a walk and an error. Here's the windup in the throw for Molinar, curving inside, and a swing and a miss for Phillips. Count goes to 0-2. Camacho, Montez, and Hernandez top of the order for the Eagles. Quick return now for Molinar. Fastball low and outside for ball 1. 1-2 count now to Phillips. Again, your Hobbs Eagles currently sitting at 18th in the Max Preps Bowl, 2 out of a playoff spot, 8-16 record, 11.4 strength of schedule, which is better than quite a few of the teams above them, at least in the bottom part of the playoff potential. Curveball inside, going to go high out towards right, but it's going to get a good curve, hopefully to foul territory, as it hits the sidewall and bounces into the glove of that right fielder, Herrera. Of course, that's not going to count as an out there, but it's bounced perfectly off the wall into his glove. On the sidewall there, first base side of the field near Carlsbad's dugout. Good contact on the ball, though, for Phillips to stay alive here. 1-2 count now for him, the left fielder for the Eagles. And he's had to chase a few, too, in his left side of the field, too, at the position plays defensively. Wind has helped him out of a few potentials of either hitting the wall or homers to that left side. 1 ball and 2 strikes as Molinar continues to face Phillips. Go with the fastball off the middle of the bat. It's going to go foul about the same place. This one over the wall side, though. Not going to bounce off this time. JV game going on as well. No softball tonight. They're on the road in Clovis, the Lady Eagles. They had a doubleheader. That was during that big delay last Friday. 1-2 pitch coming. Fastball. Clips the outside corner. That'll be strike 3. Third K of the game off the pitching of Molinar. Top of the order now for the Eagles, Juan Camacho. He had the only walk of the game to start the contest. 1 down here in the bottom of the third. Hobbs trailing 3-0. Molinar's not going to waste any time either. He's going to throw the fastball off the handle, going to go towards Coach Bowman. Naked hand right catch there with his back pedal going on out there in the coach's box, left side of the field. Back in the box goes Camacho. The windup in the throw. Fastball low and outside for ball 1. Evens up the count at 1-1. Carlsbad, again with that 4-0 record here in the district, have outscored their opponents 32-5 here in the district. Fastball lunging across the plate, just couldn't get the contact he wanted. Was Camacho for the swing and a miss. 1-2 count. So 32-5, they've outscored Clovis and Roswell, that is. And Hobbs, 20 runs and 20 given up. Curveball outside, swing and a miss. It'll be strike 3 for Camacho. That'll be back-to-back Ks issued by Molinar. 4th K of the game for him. So Hobbs even up 20-20 in terms of runs in the district. Clovis 12 runs but given up 24, and Roswell 13 runs, given up 28. Fastball, clips the outside corner for the strike. 2 down here for the Eagles, bottom of the third, no runners on, and 1 hit to their name. Christian Montez at the plate, one of 2 seniors for the Eagles, of course, with Gaston. He struck out back in the first. Fastball high for ball 1. 1-1 count to Christian. Carlsbad 190 runs this season with the 3 now tonight, make it 193. 78 given up on their 19-5 record. Curveball inside, barely misses for the ball. Hobbs Eagles, on the other hand, 201 runs scored this season. That's more, 11 more than what Carlsbad had coming in. Hobbs, though, giving up 192 runs compared to 78 for Carlsbad. Here's the 2-1 pitch from Molinar. Fastball outside for ball 2. Or I make that 3-1 count for Montez. He could burn one pitch if he wants. Curveball inside, comes off the handle to the left backstop. Bounces off the mini wall there. Honor takes a little bit more time before releasing the next pitch. Curveball inside off the handle, going to go high in the air towards the first baseline, and coming over to make the catch, Jonas Molnar, the pitcher. Just kind of stayed in the air just enough time for him to sprint over there halfway down the first baseline for the flyout for Montez. So Hobbs with 2 Ks and a flyout. Nothing going offensively so far in this one. They're trailing 3-0. We head to the top of the 4th. Carlsbad in the driver's seat, but the Hobbs Eagle defense hopefully 3 up and 3 down. Come back with us on the Hobbs Eagle Network. Top of the 4th inning here at Sportsman's Park, a windy one in this one. Final regular season home game for the Hobbs Eagles. And if they make the playoffs, more than likely would have to travel in their first round game next week. So last hurrah with the 2 seniors being given a nice farewell to start the game here. Carlsbad at the plate. Going through their second rotation. Connor Roberson, the catcher, ground out to second for the last end of the first inning. Takes a fastball low for ball 1. Chase Brister still on the mound for the Eagles. Again, he came in with the 4-2 record, 2.45 ERA, 14th game of the season for him. Roberson 7th in the order for the Cavemen. Takes a curveball, hits it high in the air. Should be plenty of time for some reaction here for the Eagles. And shifted over. Fuentes playing second base for a second in front of the bag and makes the catch. Had 2 guys behind him there, including the second baseman who said, hey, I want that ball, Christian Montez. And coming in from center pretty quickly, too, for the Eagles was Camacho. But the catch by Fuentes, one-man wrecking crew in this ball game defensively, it seems like. So the fly out there for Roberson. Brings up Jonas Molnar, the pitcher, takes the first pitch fastball for the strike. Molnar ground back to the Hobbs Eagle pitcher, Chase Brister. So 2 pitchers going at it here. Comes the 0-1 now. Curveball off the bat and down the third baseline. Nice roller. Going to go to the corner. Scooped up by Phillips and stops the bleeding. Good relay throw into second to stop the runner to advance. So just a single thanks to the good effort there by Phillips out in left field. Got over there quickly with the backhand and got it in. So the second hit of the ball game for Carlsbad, but not a dangerous one there. Just a single. Richie Herrera now to round out the order for the second time for the Cavemen. Struck out back in the second. Carlsbad has had 2 Ks in this ball game off the pitching of Brister. Still 3-0 though. Here on the top of the 4th, throw to first. Not in time. Sliding back to the bag is Molnar. Actually, I think he had a pinch runner coming in because, of course, Molnar is the pitcher. Double check to see who that number is here in just a second. Brister taking a little bit of time here. Turns and fires a sinker. Fastball outside low for ball. Herrera looks over to coach. McGahey there on the left side of the field. Long delay here before the next pitch. Curveball inside for the ball. Brushing back Herrera just a bit. Appears that is Kyron Orgain is the runner out there. This one of the seniors, one of the 7 seniors on this Carlsbad team. Sinker again, swing and a miss over the top by Herrera. for the strike. 2-1 count now to Herrera. Top of the order will be Lopez, Fuentes, and Quintella. One down here in the top of the fourth. Still 3-0 Carlsbad. 2 runs in the first, 1 in the third. Curveball. Clips the inside corner. The throw on the stolen base attempt here. They'll get the tag as well. Great throw there from behind the plate. Hernandez hooking up with Montez at second and just slammed it into the leg, the knee, and taking out the pinch runner Orgain for the second out. So Hobbs picks one off there. No runners on the bags now. And a 2-2 count to Herrera. Fastball just barely misses outside for ball. Full count now to Herrera. Eagles trying to hold Carlsbad at bay, not letting them add on to that 3-0 lead here in the top of the fourth. Curveball inside, a knuckler off the handle, scooped up by Brister in front of the mound and tosses over to Kestner. Easy play on that one, and that'll be out number 3 on the ground out. So 1 hit, nobody on the bases, doing a nice pickoff on a stolen base attempt by Molinar. No scores come across. 3-0 Eagles trail to Carlsbad, but they're up at the plate next. Bottom of the fourth. You're listening live to Hobbs Eagle Baseball on the Hobbs Eagle Network. Bottom of the fourth inning. At the batting order now for the Hobbs Eagles, Jaden Hernandez. He's third in the order. Got on due to a throwing error in the first inning, so he has been a base runner so far. Jaden with a .505 on base percentage. That is the best on the team, or second best on the team. Curveball action over the top of that for the strike on the swing by Hernandez. The lone hit for the Eagles from Jackson Gaston, who's up next. One of the 2 seniors. Here comes Molinar. Fastball. This is going out towards center field. About halfway back. Shifting right now. And making the catch is Fuentes. Not for the Hobbs Eagle Fuentes, but for Carlsbad. For out number 1. So the fly out there for Hernandez. Things just not going right for the Eagles so far. Wind is kind of keeping balls up in the air a little bit too. Jackson Gaston, who we just mentioned, had the lone hit, the single back in the first. Never had a chance to score though. 1 down for the Eagles. Bonner goes to the fastball low for ball 1. Good eye for Gaston. Cole Kestner up next as well. He is 5th in the order, so Gaston the cleanup man. Bonner going to come back with the fastball, clips the outside corner for the strike, evens up the count at 1-1. Still 3-0 here in the bottom of the fourth. Slated for 7 here at Sportsman's Park, just a single game, and 1 on Friday to wrap up the regular season. 1-1 pitch, low sinker. Kind of a half energy swing there for Gaston, couldn't make contact. Count goes to 1-2 on the strike. Definitely got to protect the plate on this next one for Molinar. Fastball. Going in the gap, and it's going to roll past third, out to the line, and the left fielder's got to come make the play. Risher, that will be a single for Gaston. He's got 2 of them in the game now. Second hit of the game for the Eagles as well. So Gaston keeping the Eagles offense alive here in this one. That'll bring up Cole Kestner, we just mentioned. He had the last out of the first inning on a ground out to second. But of course, Kestner does have those 24 RBIs this season. Currently second on the squad. Definitely like to see one here. Fastball outside, swing and a miss for Kestner. Had the big RBI double on Friday, of course, against Clovis for the 3-2 win. Scoring Gaston, by the way. Marner quickly with the reload. Curveball, and this got to curve up to the right center. Right fielder's going to come over and make the catch. Halfway back, that's Herrera. They came down kind of quickly that time. Didn't air out like some of these other contacts have made. So the fly out for Kestner, unfortunately. They bring up Jason Fuentes now, who grounded a second back in the second. Of course, his namesake out in center, also a Fuentes, the outfielder. Runner at first, that's Gaston due to the single. Fastball, late swing, and he'll take a quick bounce to the ground and roll out to the Carlsbad dugout on the right side in foul territory. Eagles with 2 down. Bottom of the 4th, down 3-0. Both teams with 1 error in the infield so far on throwing errors. 0-1 pitch, fastball, another crack at it, left center, and shifted over. Might be a collision. The center fielder calls off Risher. Fuentes makes the catch. Hate to see that. Fuentes catching a shot by Jason, but that'll be out number 3. So Hobbs gets 1 hit, leave 1 on base, no runs come across. We head to the top of the 5th. Kind of a quick moving one here with the wind. 3-0 Carlsbad. We'll take that quick 60-second break, come back live on the Hobbs Eagle Network. Back at Sportsman's Park, top of the 5th inning. Carlsbad leads the Eagles 3-0. Carlsbad at 4-0 in district. Hobbs at 2-2, currently in second place behind the Cavemen. Right now, in terms of the playoff picture, Hobbs at 18th in the Max Preps Bowl. Above them, Clovis at 17th. They're 11-11 on the season. Their strictest schedule, not as good as the Eagles, though. They're at 10.3, Hobbs at 11.4. Of course, they split. Mayfield's at 16. That would be the last playoff spot if it sits that way. Of course, Mayfield knocked off the Eagles earlier. And Rio Grande at 15, Centennial at 14. Curveball comes inside and hit hard into left field on the ground. And the single going to be converted for Carlsbad. As we start the 5th, that's Eloy Lopez, his first hit of the ball game after 2 grounds in the infield. And the 3rd hit of the ball game for the Cavemen with the runner at first now. Lopez started the order for the 3rd time, and now second is Garrett Fuentes. He is 0 for 1. He did ground to short, but also had a walk and a run scored. First run of the game in the 1st inning. Still 3-0 Carlsbad here in the top of the 5th. Chase Brister going the distance so far for the Eagles. Showing bunt, too, up the first base line. Drops quickly for Fuentes. Turning firing on the scoop is Hernandez, the catcher, to get the out at first. Does advance the runner. Lopez is second. So bunt opportunity didn't go the way that Coach McGahey would like to have seen that one, and good work there for Hernandez to track it down quickly. 3rd in the order now, Aiden Quintella. He's 0 for 1, flew to short. Again, another big defensive play for Fuentes, and also had a walk in the 1st inning. Scored the 2nd run of the game for Carlsbad. They had another run in the 3rd. Brister looks back at second a couple of times, turns and fires the sinker, and shifting over to get it from the left of the plate is Hernandez. Jumped up quickly and to get him some more room to possibly try to throw out the runner at second. But Lopez remains there. One down for the Cavemen, who lead 3-0. Big leadoff at second by Lopez, almost halfway. Curveball inside, barely misses for the ball. Mentioned Carlsbad pretty much dominating their district in terms of runs scored against Roswell and Clovis. In fact, they shut out Clovis in their 2nd game, 10-0 at home. No hitter thrown by Aiden Quintella. Curveball outside and low for ball. Count to 3-0. In that game, Garrett Fuentes hit a 2 RBI or had a homer and a double, 2 RBIs in that contest. 11 hits for Carlsbad in that win. Throw to second, not in time. Almost hit the middle of the back there of Lopez, who kind of stumbled on himself there and fell over the bag at second, but was there before the throw got to him. Well ahead of the count now is Quintella. Risher due up next. Brister fires a fastball. Barely misses the outside. That'll be a walk for Quintella, his second one of the ball game. That'll be 5 overall walks for Carlsbad. Runners at first and second now with 1 down as Hernandez going to go out and talk to his pitcher for a second. Risher, who's picked up 2 walks so far, but on base both times. Also a stolen base and a run scored, the 3rd run of the game, back in the 3rd. Game slated for 7 here at Sportsman's Park, just a single and 1 on Friday, as we mentioned. Brister takes a few seconds here to get the pitch call he wants from Hernandez. Throws a fastball a little high for ball 1. Looked like Risher was trying to show a little bunt action there and pulled out just at the last second. Takes a look over to Coach McGahey for some signals there at the third base coach's box. Here's the windup for the throw from Brister. Curveball inside, hits the handle and the ankle of Risher, but he was the one that made the contact to make it go down low, so was not hit by a pitch on that one. Count evens up at 1-1 with 1 down. Listening live to Hobbs Eagle Baseball, exclusive coverage on the Cool 95.7 Facebook page, HobbsAmerica.com, and YouTube. Boy, Brister continues to stare down that runner. Showing bunt down the third base line. Connects. Does Risher. Picked up by Brister. Bad throw to first. Sails to the sidewall on the right side. That will score a run on the air. And runners to second and third. So the score comes in for Lopez here in the 5th inning. And that'll bring it up to 4-0 for Carlsbad. 1 down for the Cavemen. Runners at second and third. And brings in Tanner Collins. That was the second error in the infield for the Eagles in this one. 1 for Carlsbad. You got to admit, too, that the wind has to be part of the factor out there. It's been pretty heavy most of this game. Fastball low and outside. Good save for Hernandez to get down low on that one to bounce it off his knee. Protectors there. Kept it in front of the plate and waited for the runner there at third to challenge. That was Quintella. Risher's at third or second. Nobody at the first bag. Tanner Collins up is 0 for 2. Struck out and got on due to an error. Fastball clips the outside corner for the strike. Top of the 5th. 1 run has come across. It's 4-0. Of course, Brister fought himself out of a bases loaded situation back in the 1st inning where there was 3 walks issued and ended up leaving 2 runners on. Got out of that inning, although trailing 2-0 early in that first start of the game. Brister back up on the rubber, ready to go. Turns and fires, fastball, low and outside for ball 2. Again, good holding the ball there by Hernandez. A little wild, kind of a low one on the pitch. Definitely does not want another run to come across here. Here comes a 3-1. Fastball whacked out towards left. And backpedaling and shifting left, getting his glove down on the grass to make the catch was Phillips. Tries to get it in to stop the runner at home, but bounces in. But unfortunately, Hernandez can't turn around to make the tag. So that will be an RBI sack out there at left for Collins. As scoring the run will be Quintella. Makes it 5-0 Cavemen. 2 down. Good job for Phillips to get that glove on the field turf. He shifted back on the back pedal, then came left a little bit. Looked like he was going to come up underneath it. They just had to get the glove down in front of him to make it flat on the ground to make the catch. Curveball inside now to Collins, the DH, who's 0 for 2. Actually, no, I think they've inserted somebody here. Looks like number 10. One of the lefties for the Cavemen, a sub. Curveball inside, comes off the handle over to Carlsbad dugout on the right in foul territory. That's Wade Cozart, who's now at the plate. Sub brought in for Collins. Seeing his first action. 0-1 count. Fastball outside for ball one. Evens up the count at 1-1. 5-0 here in the top of the fifth. Carlsbad with just 3 hits in this game, though. Have been walked several times, had some throwing errors, got him some scores. Curveball outside for the strike as Cozart held on it. Actually, Cozart, oh no, I'm sorry, I just got the wrong number written down here. He is the same guy that's been in there. He had a 2 RBI double earlier. He has a foul or fly ball out to left field, and on the run, making the catch in stride for the Eagles was Phillips. As the out coming down there for out number 3. So Cozart flies to left. Cavemen managed to get 1 hit, get a walk as well, and an error, scores a run. It makes it 5-0 as we head to the bottom of the fifth. Carlsbad with 2 runs in the first, 1 in the third, and 2 here in the fifth. Eagles got a big hole to dig out of. Gonna get those bats working here in just 1 minute on the Hobbs Eagle Network. Rally time for the Hobbs Eagles, who trail 5-0 here in the bottom of the fifth. We are slated for 7. At the plate, Tristan Montez for just the second time. He is 7th in the order for the Eagles. Struck out back in the second. Hobbs has struck out 4 times in this ball game off the pitching of Molinar. Little curveball outside to low for ball 1. Eagles got 2 singles from Gaston. The only 2 hits of the ball game so far. Quick reload and curveball inside, swing and a miss for Montez. The DH in this one of the lefties for the Eagles. Luke Parrish and Carson Phillips, 8th and 9th in the order for Hobbs. Curve inside again, this off the handle, gonna go foul. Takes a dribble over to the Carlsbad dugout side right. So 0-2 count now to Montez. Again, those 2 hits for Gaston, the walk for Camacho. So far, that's the offense at this point. We're trying to get back on track here. Here's the 0-2. Curveball comes down low, swing, and over the top is Montez for the strike. So that's the 5th K of the game for Molinar on the mound. Out number 1 for the Eagles here in the bottom of the 5th.
Stepping to the plate for the
Luke Parrish now,
number 8,
the right fielder. He ground out back in the second inning for the last out to second base. Trying to be the first runner here in the bottom of the 5th. Molinar swinging or fastball outside low for ball 1. Molinar taking a little bit more time now as he waits for the pitch call that he wants. Delivers a fastball. Gets that outside corner for the strike. Count goes to 1-1. Eagles have 1 out here. No one on the bases at this point. Curveball inside. Golf swing out to left field. It's going to go about halfway back. Shortstop's going to make the back pedal catch. That's Lopez. As he head towards more to left field, called off Risher out there and made the catch himself. A big shift for him going from short over to left. Kind of a side catch there for Lopez. That's going to wrap Carson Phillips, last in the order for the Eagles, second time through the batting order. But he's got 2 outs to deal with. Takes the first fastball, clips the outside corner for the strike. Phillips had a strikeout back in the 3rd inning. Eagles trying to get some offense generated here. Curveball inside near ankle height for the ball. Phillips had to do some fancy footwork to stay from getting hit by that one. 1 ball and 1 strike to Phillips. Quick reload. Here comes Molnar. Curveball off the handle. It's going to be a dribbler out to third. A scoop on the run by Kozar. Fires low to first. And in time, that hit was just slow enough to get Phillips where he wanted to get. That's a single for Phillips. 3rd hit of the ball game for the Eagles. Top of the order for the 3rd time now, Juan Camacho. He's 0 for 1. Did walk in the first, struck out his 2nd at bat. But 2 down for the Eagles. The force out at 2nd for Carlsbad in the defense. Quick look over to first for Molinar. Turns and fires. Curveball. Barely clips the bottom of the strike zone for strike 1. Christian Montez, 2nd in the order for the Eagles, due up next, hopefully, with although 2 outs on the board. Another curve down the middle for the strike. Count goes to 0-2. Camacho came away from that one. Definitely he's going to have to get that bat near the plate this time with the 2 strikes. Big leadoff at first for Phillips after that single. Throw to first for Molinar, not in time. Little swipe action there by Venegas. 0-2 count for Juan Camacho. Another throw to first. Saw a lot of that going on in the 1st inning, too. Really working the runners for the Eagles. A bit more of a pause now for Molinar. Turns and fires a curveball and backs up Camacho. Did not want to get hit with that pitch. 1-2 count now to Camacho. Just wants to make some contact here. Advance some runners for the Eagles. A fastball low, and barely getting a piece of it was Camacho. He kind of crouched down low and extended the bat and came off the end of it, but behind home plate. But contact keeps you alive. Again, we're in the bottom of the 5th. 5-0 the score, favor the Cavemen. Currently ranked 4th in the state, behind Cleveland. Boy, Molnar took a long time to get that throw to first, and they're going to call balk. They're going to send the runner to 2nd. Phillips, plate umpire, didn't like the footwork that he saw there on the mound, and puts Hobbs at 2nd now. So Camacho needs to make some contact, get the Eagles in scoring position here for their first run of the ball game. Molnar looks back at 2nd. Dancing around is Phillips. Curveball inside and makes Camacho kind of swing around a little bit, 180. Goes to a full count, though, on the ball. Well inside on that pitch. Big pitch coming here from Molinar here to try to sit the Eagles down, or hopefully Hobbs makes some contact and gets some runner advancement here. Molinar spying back at Phillips at 2nd. Turns and fires a fastball. A little outside. Well, it was supposed to be a full count. Guess not. Now it's a full count, 3-2. Winds have kept sustained here at Sportsman's Park. Here comes a full count pitch. Fastball off the end of the bat. Going to take a bounce to 3rd. Scooped. And Kozar going to decide to throw instead of stop the base. Big extension there for Venegas. Doing the splits to make the pull down there at 1st and get the final out for the Caveman defense. So Camacho hits into a ground to 3rd. Eagles do manage 1 hit as they leave 1 on base. No runs come across. 5-0. Carlsbad still leading as we go to the top of the 6th. Not a lot of time left in this one. Hobbs defense up out on the field now. We'll be back in 60 seconds on the Hobbs Eagle Network. head to the top of the 6th inning here at Sportsman's Park as your Hobbs Eagles trail 5-0 to Carlsbad. Game 1 of the series, game on Friday as well, 4:45 pregame, first pitch at 5 o'clock. Yeah, no doubleheaders in the district schedule this year, just 6 games, 2, 1 home and away. Let's see, I think we might have had a pitching change there. Let me double check. Looks like Leeper has stepped in here for the Hobbs Eagles. Check his numbers here in just a second. So he's in relief. Brister goes through 5 innings of work here as we go to the top of the 6th, as Leeper will face for Carlsbad Connor Roberson, the catcher. He flew out to short in his last at bat. He's 0 for 2. Curveball inside. This is going to be an fly ball behind second base. Shortstop going to shift over and lost control up in the air with it and did not get the catch he wanted to make. Kind of a routine play there in the infield. It came all the way between first and second from short to try to make the play. That was Fuentes. So an error on that one, as that will get Roberson on the base first. Third error for the Eagles in this one. Up to the plate now, Jonas Molinar, the pitcher. He's 1 for 2 with a single, also ground out to the mound. Looks like a pinch runner coming in for Carlsbad. That is Jaden Carter, Jr. Nothing here on the top of the 6th. Cavemen up by 5. Curveball inside, foul behind home plate. It's going to take a bounce towards the right backstop. Good chase by Hernandez. Leeper comes in with an 0-2 record. This is his 7th game of the season and a 10.16 ERA. The junior pitcher for the Eagles. First time on the mound here in the district action so far. And this is the 5th game of district, of course. 6 is the total. Leeper turns, fires the fastball, bunt down the first base line for Molinar. Picked up by Hernandez, but they're going to say it went foul about halfway up the first base line. Kind of curved out at the last second there. Good chase by Hernandez. That'll bring Molinar back to the plate. They've had 3 hits so far. Single by Lopez, 2 RBI double by Cozart, and a single by Molinar, the pitcher, the man at the plate right now. He's gone the distance so far on defense. Fastball down the middle, over the top on the attempted bunt. Molinar didn't make contact, and that'll be strike 3. He'll take a seat. So that will be the 3rd K of the game, although first for the relief pitcher for the Eagles, Leeper. Out number 1 for the Wildcats, who lead 5-0 here in the top of the 6th. Also another bunt showing here. Carlsbad's starting to sub a lot of people too. They got another one in there now at the plate for his first chance. That was that elusive number 5 that I had written down for Cozart, but it's not who that was. It was Nick Sandate is up now. Curveball inside, and he tries to bunt towards the third base line. It goes foul. Good chase coming from third base for the Eagles there. Almost a home plate to make that play, too. Good effort there for the Eagles. That was Gaston, of course. Gaston, excuse me. 1-1 pitch, fastball. A little low for ball 2. Nick Sandate, of course, a senior. Outfielder also is a righty in terms of pitching. First time at the plate, 2-1 count now coming from Leeper. Fastball high for ball 3. So Sandati came in for Richie Herrera, his first time at the plate. 3 balls and a strike with 1 down. Fastball high, that'll be a walk for Sandati. Go to the top of the order now for the Cavemen. Eloy Lopez for the 4th time. He's 1 for 3 His third at bat was a hit, a single, also scored a run. Ground to short, also ground to third. First two at bats, so kept it in the infield early. One down for the Cavemen. Runners at first and second as well, as Leeper takes a peek back at second to check the runner. Fastball, another butt, this one up the third baseline. A little hesitation by Gaston, and that's going to get enough time for the runners to get to their bases. Waited a second before charging that one. So Lopez will get on with a single, his second in a row. Fourth hit of the ball game for Carlsbad, and now second in the order, Garrett Fuentes. He is 0 for 2 with a ground to short and behind plate catcher, and it was also a walk in the first inning and a run scored. Loaded bases now for the Cavemen with just one out. Leeper comes with a fastball, whacked out to shallow left center. They'll take a roll, RBI single. Runners will just take one base each on that one, and that will score Connor Roberson. So Fuentes with an RBI single, fifth hit of the ball game. First run scored for Carlsbad in the sixth. That'll make it now 6-0. Still bases loaded for the Cavemen. And third in the order, Aiden Quintella. He is 0 for 1, short, or flew to short and had a couple of walks and 2 runs scored though. So has been productive getting on the bases. Takes the first fastball, a strike. He's third in the order for the Cavemen. Gus Risher, the cleanup man, next. Here's the windup for the throw from Leeper. Little changeup down the middle for the strike as Quintella held on it. Of course, we mentioned Leeper coming in relief here in the sixth after 5 innings pitched by Brister. Here's the 0-2. Curveball, clips the inside corner, strike 3. Second K of the game for Leeper as Quintella takes a seat. And now Gus Risher, the cleanup man, 0 for 1 with an error getting him on base and a couple of walks, stole a base, and a run scored. Eagles can get any of the bases for the third out here as they are loaded at this point. Fastball, hard shot off the end of the bat though, goes foul over the right side fence towards the JV field. Run production for Carlsbad, 2 in the first, 1 in the third, and 2 in the fifth. We've had 1 added here in the sixth. Fastball, clips the outside corner for the strike. So 0-2 count now as Leeper getting ahead of Risher. Tanner Collins, Tanner Collins came in at the DH position. He'll be up next. Curveball off the late hit off the middle of the bat goes to the Carlsbad dugout. And keeps the count at 0-2. Again, Wynn's picking up just a bit here on the top of the sixth. 6-0, Carlsbad lead. Fastball down the middle, and he lunges out for a little curve action out to right center. Nice shift over by the center fielder Camacho to make the catch and stop the Cavemen from advancing in this inning. So a fly out there for Risher, and nice play for the Eagles' Camacho to get that third and final out. But couple of hits coming for Carlsbad. They do get 1 run come across, leave the bases loaded on that play. 6-0 the score. Hobbs offense up next, the bottom of the sixth. Stay with us live on the Hobbs Eagle Network. Comeback time for the Hobbs Eagles here in the bottom of the sixth. They trail 6-0. Christian Montez, one of the two seniors for the Eagles, 0 for 2. He had a strikeout and flew back to the pitcher's mound. He's due for a hit. 2 singles for Gaston so far, a single for Phillips as well. The 3 hits so far. Curveball inside, right through the legs of the pitcher, and trying to scoop from behind second base and try to make something of a recovery there was Quintella, but not in time to throw the ball. And that time just kind of leaping in the air as Molnar stretching his legs out. That ball's a zinger. Went right above the rubber that time, out towards second into center field. So a single for Montez. 4th hit of the ball game for the Eagles. All been 4 singles. And Jaden Hernandez now 3rd in the order. He's 0 for 2, got on due to an error and flew to center. A little bit of room to make up here for the Eagles. Runner at first is Montez. And Gaston, the cleanup man, up next. He's 2 for 2. Fastball whacked a short sidewinder catch there by Lopez, and he's just going to hold on to it. Doesn't want to have a wild throw. We've had a couple of those, a couple errors on both teams so far in this game. Boy, that was a hot shot to the webbing of the glove there of the shortstop Lopez. So out number 1 for the Eagles here in the bottom of the 6th. And the cleanup man, Jackson Gaston, now 2 for 2. A pair of singles so far to his name. Gaston has 25 hits this season, 13 RBIs, and hits this one hard to third. Might be a chance for a double play. It's snagged down by Kozart with a throw to second to get the out on the runner to Quintella. And unfortunately, that's going to sit down 1 for the Eagles, as having to run back to the dugout is Montez on the fielder's choice for Gaston. Gaston will be at first. Down 2 outs now for the Eagles, though. And now it's Cole Kestner's turn to try to get something generated here. He's 0 for 2, ground to second, flew to right center. And make it 6-0 deficit here in the bottom of the 6th. Curveball inside, golf swing, right back to the third baseman. Lost it through his glove. That was Kozart. Shortstop goes behind and picks it up. That probably should have been a scoop and throw there, so an error for Kestner to get him on, but takes a pretty hard shot with the bat on that one.
Number 5, Jason Fuentes.
Jason Fuentes now on the plate for the Eagles. 0 for 2, ground to second, flew to left. I'm trying to screech yourselves back into this ball game, but still trail 6-0. Runners at first and second. Fuentes 6th in the order for the Eagles. Long delay on the pitch for Molnar here. Looking back at second to check the runner. Fastball comes out a little low and outside for ball 1. 2 down for the Eagles. Trying to get a comeback here. Molnar slowed down his pitch rate pretty substantially here in this inning. Fastball down low for ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes to Fuentes. Montez, Parrish, and Phillips, 7 through 9 in the order for the Eagles. Time running out here at Sportsman's Park. Starting to get dark a little bit here too. Little cloud action above the cloud, or above the sun. Fastball stays in the zone for the strike. Count to 2-1 now to Fuentes. He had a hit out into center field earlier that was caught by the other Fuentes, the center fielder for the Cavemen. 2-1 pitch, sinker for the ball. Count to 3-1 as Jason gets ahead of the count. Force out would be a third for Carlsbad, so definitely want to keep it away from there. Runners at first and second for the Eagles. Molnar checks second, turns and fires a fastball at the end of the bat. It'll be a bouncer towards second. Might be enough time for the Eagles to get there. Scooped up by the second baseman on a sidewinder throw. Quintella gets it there just in time, and Hobbs fans aren't liking that. They thought he might have been a little late, but they're going to go ahead and call that the out. Fans are having some calls out for the home plate umpire on that one, but that'll be out number 3, unfortunately, for the Eagles. That thing was kind of bouncing and slowed down a little bit towards second and thought it would be enough time, but a nice play coming behind the bag there, Quintella, to make the throw right before the runner gets on Fuentes. So the Eagles get a single, 1 hit. No runs come across. They leave 1 on base. or 2 on base, and we go to the top of the 7th. 6-0 Carlsbad over your Hobbs Eagles. Defense back out on the field, back in 60 on HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, and the Colt 95.7 Facebook page. Hayden Leeper back on the mound for the Eagles. His second inning of work now, starting off here. Top of the 7th. Carlsbad leading 6-0. Leeper's first pitch, a curveball, comes off the handle to the Hobbs Eagle dugout. Bounces off the sidewall and rolls back to the third baseline, chased down by Gaston. Run totals for Carlsbad: 2 in the first, 1 in the third, 2 in the fifth, 1 in the sixth. Here comes the 0-1 pitch from Leeper. Curveball comes down the middle for the strike. Count goes to 0-2 now. Tanner Collins, the DH, who's 0 for 3 so far. Go curve again, and this one a little low for ball 1. Collins struck out and got on due to an error, then flew to left field for his third at bat. 1-2 pitch inside. This is going to the left wall. Get close to the warning track. Is he going to get over? And it looks like it is. They calling that fair or foul here? It's foul. Umpire put his hands up in the air and then shifted him toward foul territory, luckily. Thought he was calling that a over the fence bye-bye. But if they're going to say just outside that pole on the left field. Breathing a sigh of relief out there is Phillips, as well as Leeper on the mound. So count stays 6-0, score Carlsbad here in the top of the 7th. Definitely didn't want to see that one go over the fence. Collins doesn't even have a hit in this ball game. There's been 6 total for Carlsbad. Multiple hitter Eloy Lopez with 2 singles, RBI single for Fuentes, 2 RBI double for Cozart, and a single for Molinar. One ball and 2 strikes. Fastball low and outside for ball 2. I guess I can't count too well. That's 5 hits, not 6. For the Cavemen. 2 balls and 2 strikes now. To Collins. Curveball inside. Golf swing. A low shot, but caught right at the chest level by Fuentes, the shortstop for the Eagles. Big workout for him in this one. So Collins will go down for the first out for the Cavemen here in the top of the 7th. This is the final inning. Hopefully not, but the Eagles will have to get some offense generated in the bottom. Wade Cozart now, who is 1 for 3 with the 2 RBI double back in the first for the first 2 runs of the ball game. Had a ground to short and a fly to left since then. Leeper comes with a curve inside, brushing back Cozart for ball 1. Sun's been staying behind the clouds here for the last few minutes. Getting kind of cooler, too, with the winds still picking up quite a bit at Sportsman. Fastball comes off the end of the bat and foul right behind home plate to the netting. Again, don't forget Friday night we'll be in Carlsbad. Final regular season game for district, of course. 4:45 pregame, first pitch at 5. And then next week, hopefully, the playoffs. 1-1 pitch, curve inside. This will just be a drop dribbler picked up by Hernandez in front of the plate. Fires over to Kestner at first. Off the 2-3 for the out. Kind of a hard decision there, too, of going head-to-head with his pitcher, Leaper, where that ball was going to stop, and he decides to pick it up and make the throw. So 2 down for the Cavemen. Fly and a grounder. That'll bring up Connor Roberson, who's 0 for 3. Ground to second, flew to short, and had an error to get on with the run scored. Fastball low and outside for ball 1. Eagles just trying to make sure no more runs get on the board here so they can play some catch-up offense. Fastball high for ball 2. Roberson 7th in the order for the Cavemen. Molinar and Herrera to round it out. Molinar did get a single. He was the pitcher for the Cavemen. 2-0 pitch, fastball high for ball 3. Big wide stance for Roberson. He is the catcher for the Cavemen. Well ahead of the count, too, right now. Leaper trying to get back in it. Fastball. Late swing comes off the handle for the ball, or foul right behind the plate. Kind of surprised the lights haven't come on yet here. 3 balls and a strike. The windup of the throw from Leaper. Fastball. Swing and a miss. Going high on top was Roberson. Now going to have to deal with the full count. Robertson kind of pointing his bat towards Leaper at the mound. Curveball inside, too far inside for the walk. That'll be the 6th walk of the ball game for the Hobbs Eagle pitching staff. And a runner at first now for Carlsbad. Jonas Molinar, who is the pitcher for the Cavemen, up next. He is 1 for 3. Ground to the mound, had a single and then a strikeout. Carlsbad has suffered 4 Ks in this ball game. 2 apiece, 2 for the starter Brister and 2 for Leaper. 2 down though for the Cavemen. They will be forced out at second. Curveball inside, getting some air underneath it up the third baseline, stays up in the air in foul territory and making the shift and the catch. Good decision to get out there for Gaston for the 3rd and final out. Way to go for the senior. And that will sit down Molinar for out number 3. Final hurrah, hopefully not, but the Eagles got to get at least 6 runs to keep this extended. Or it could get the win with 7, like they did against Clovis with those 2 runs scored to make it 3-2 on Friday for the win against the Wildcats. Big offensive production coming, hopefully, for the Eagles. Bottom of the 7th, 6-0 Carlsbad, back at 60 on the Hobbs Eagle Network.
Stepping to the plate for the Eagles, number 24, Jackson Sutter.
Jonas Molinar going the distance so far for the Cavemen. On the mound for the blue and gray. And for your Hobbs Eagles at the plate, Tristan Montez, 0 for 2 so far with 2 Ks. Molinar's been able to strike out 5 Eagle batters so far, 2 of those for Montez, but he's wanting to change that right now, down 6-0, bottom of the 7th. Fastball comes outside and low for ball 1. Montez 7th in the order for the Eagles. Parrish and Phillips due up next to round out the order for the 3rd time. The 1-0 count, turns and fires a curve. Clips the outside corner for the strike. Count goes to 1-1. Eagles definitely need to get as many runners as they can early to try to come back on this 6-0 deficit. The 1-1 pitch, curve outside, another strike. Fan saw that a little bit low and outside that time. 1 ball and 2 strikes down to Montez. Got to protect that home plate here. Goes to the same spot, this time low, off the fastball for ball 2. Evens up the count at 2-2. Phillips does have a single. He's ninth in the order after Parrish. Sinker comes outside and low, and they're going to say strike three on that one. Ball hit the plate after it was dropped by the catcher, Roberson, but they're going to say strike three regardless. So 3 Ks for Montez, and that'll be the 6th K of the game for Molinar on the mound. Luke Parrish going to try to get something generated here with one down here in the bottom of the 7th. 6-0 Carlsbad. Parrish 0 for 2, ground to second, flew to left. Takes the first fastball outside with the clip for strike one. Phillips ran out the order, and then it's Camacho, Montez, and Hernandez at the top. Here's the windup from the throw from Monar. Curveball. Looked like it almost going to hit Parrish in the butt there, but he's able to scoot back just a bit to avoid contact and gets a 1-1 count. Quick return for Monar. Fastball, swing and a miss for Parrish. Count goes to 1-2. Last couple outs of this game, unless the Eagles can get some contact here. Here in the bottom of the 7th. Monar comes back with a fastball, low and outside for ball 2. Sun has stayed away for about 2 or so innings now, and definitely cooling off quite a bit with the wind continuing here at Sportsman's Park. Final home game of the regular season. Here's a 2-2, curving inside, golf swing. That'll be strike 3 for Parrish. So 2 Ks in a row issued by Molinar. Be the 7th K of the game. Bottom of the order will be Carson Phillips. This is the 3rd time through the order. Phillips does have a single to his name. He's 1 for 2. Eagles with the 4 hits so far, 2 for Gaston on singles. Christian Montez got 1, and Phillips the other. But 2 outs for the Eagles. Fastball, low and outside for ball 1. Got to get somebody on the bases here for a comeback for the Eagles. Here's the 1-0 pitch from Molinar. Fastball. This is going out toward the third baseman off of one hopper. Kozar turns and fires over to Venegas, and that'll be out 3 off a 5-3. So the ground out to finish the ball game here as the Hobbs Eagles lose the first game of the 2-game set this week. 6-0 the final here at Sportsman's Park. We'll take a 3-minute timeout, and we'll come back with the post-game show live on the Hobbs Eagle Network. Welcome back to Sportsman's Park. Ty Friend here with you as the Hobbs Eagles lose game one of the two-game series this week, 6-0 to Carlsbad. Hobbs drops to 2-3 in the district, and Carlsbad undefeated 5-0. They are their regular season champs and will have themselves a punch ticket to the playoffs next week. Hobbs drops to 8-17 overall, and Carlsbad improves to 20-5 overall, and currently fourth in the Max Preps poll. Let's look at the numbers in this ball game. First for the visitors, Carlsbad. They only get one multi-hitter. That was Eloy Lopez. He went 2 for 4, had a pair of singles and a run scored. Garrett Fuentes went 1 for 3 with an RBI single. Also had a walk and a run scored. Wade Cozart 1 for 4 with a 2 RBI double. He's the one that scored the first 2 runs with his teammates coming across in the ball game in the first inning. And Jonas Molinar, the pitcher, went 1 for 4. He had a single in the contest. So they only had a total of 4 hitters in the game, one multi-hitter, that was Lopez. So they finished up with the 5 hits. They were struck out 4 times, 2 apiece for Brister and Leeper, the pitchers for the Eagles, and were walked 7 times in the ball game. And for your Hobbs Eagles, nobody with multiple hits, but Christian Montez, one of the 2 seniors, he was 1 for 3 in the ball game with a single. Of course, the other senior, Jackson Gaston, was 2 for 3. He had a couple of singles in the contest. And it was Carson Phillips went 1 for 3 with a single. So the Hobbs Eagles managed 4 hits, all singles. They were only walked 1 time in the game. That was Juan Camacho getting that one. And were struck out 7 times by the guy that went the distance, Jonas Molinar, the pitcher for the Cavemen. The scoring in the contest, it was a 2-0 game in the first. Another run added for the 3rd inning, 3-0 for the Cavemen. They added 2 in the 5th, making it 5-0, and 1 in the 6th for the final run. Again, 6-0 the final as the Cavemen win the regular season crown, 5-0 record, 6-0 the win here as the Hobbs Eagles drop to 2-3. Of course, that still puts them in the 2nd place, possibly 3rd place realm. Right now tonight, Clovis and Roswell are going at it. Both those teams came in at 1-3 as well. That means one more game for the regular season on the road on Friday. The Eagles will be in Carlsbad to take on the Cavemen one last time. And that game, 4:45 pregame show, the first pitch at 5 o'clock. We'll have that for you right here on HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, and the Cool 95.7 Facebook page. Like to thank Evie and, of course, Tiffany Stuber back at the station. We're doing all the backup watch over on these broadcasts. We will be back with you on Friday for more Hobbs Eagle baseball, the final regular season game. Ty Friend signing off. Have a great rest of a Tuesday night.